Hello, hello, good evening. It's Friday night, 7 o'clock, and we are about to start our live for tonight. The topic is small business pain points. Small business pain points. Um, we're having our special guest. Our special guest is Lalo, expecting another guest. Should be coming in pretty soon. Lalo, are you there? Yes, there is Lalo, I think.
Hola.
Oh,
Uh,
you're gonna be on the dark tonight?
I am way. Dude, it's hella bad where I'm at.
Really?
But I made
You
it.
got no light? Should we call an electrician?
We should.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Welcome, Lalo.
I just left the job site, so
Okay.
I'm just here
Hey,
parked.
thank you. Thank you for taking the time to do this live with me. I think it's gonna be really interesting and Martin and Batman says, Will.
Yes.
Thank
Batman.
you. What's up, Will? What's up, Tari? Tari Electric. Maestro, Maestrazo, Mr. Tari. Voltage Lead Gen. What's up, Gavin? Gavin, I'm sure Gavin is preparing some good stuff for next year. So I believe in you, Gavin. I believe in you, man. All right. Uh, AP Electrical Services. I think is that Luciano? I think, right?
Uh,
Lalo?
no,
No, it's not
Luciano's
Luciano.
Flores.
Oh, yeah.
Luciano's Flores.
Yeah, Flores. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So we're gonna be talking about pain points. Do you wanna start with some of your pain points, Lalo, or what was your main points at the beginning of your business?
Well, I think the biggest one of the biggest pain points is gonna be getting paid on time from contractors. Like the difference between working for a general contractor versus working for a homeowner. There's that big difference. Most of the times when you work with a general contractor, your money is kind of tied in some occasions with their project. So let's say you're doing a kitchen, right? And if you're done with the kitchen side, the most common thing to do is I'm done with the electrical, get paid, and that's it. But not always when you work with a general contractor, it will work that way because they're also sometimes waiting to get paid. So that kind of puts you also a little bit on the side. And if they pay you, sometimes they won't pay you full, and you have all these bills to pay, especially with material. So that's one of the biggest ones, when you if you decide to work with a general contractor, those are one of the things that you kind of have to um, expect. It's not always going to happen, not always, but there is that chance. There is that chance. That's one of them.
Okay. What other ones were your hurting when you were starting? Do you already have like certain customers, or you started from zero?
Well, the thing is that because of the struggle, the hustle that you need,
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of side work while I was, working for my other company.
Okay.
I did a lot of side work, and that through the years just started putting my number and my work out there, and I just started getting more referrals and more referrals, and with time, it just builds up. That's what I think a lot of these new coming contractors or you know, yeah, just coming electrical contractors have to deal with is that if you don't have enough time in the business, it's really hard for you to get that consistent phone call, or just not necessarily consistent, but that random phone call like, hey, I was referred to you by X and X friend. Um, that's one of the things. So I, I I had that benefit, that I did a lot of side work, and then when I got my license, that also kind of weeded out the clients that I had that were just looking for that quick, $30 an hour work because now
Okay.
you have to give them bigger numbers to just, you know, keep your company open. They themselves just started, stopped calling, stopped referring. But the ones that stayed understand that now you're a business
For sure.
and they send you also good customers. So um that's one of the things, if you start doing work for like people that are looking for an affordable or kind of task or electrical work, um they will send you people in that same kind of area.
Okay.
Get it? So when you do work for clients that are really looking for that quality work, regardless of the price, and I've said this before in my reels, I'm not meaning to actually just take, become rich out of just one job. That's not how it works. Um, so they will send you people that are looking for quality work, and that's when you land those good customers. And you kind of want to stay on that area. You kind of want to start if you have clients that are looking for the cheap ones, for the cheap electrical person or
Hmm.
electrician, then you just you just kind of want to stay away from that area because you're just gonna get more calls like that. So
Okay.
that's
So,
that's one of the ones.
so let's say, so you started on your own. You had some contractors, or you had some customers, and then you start building up. You were chasing them. How do you overcome the challenge of, okay, I have my company now, I need customers?
That is always going to be tough. That's always going to be tough because I I personally don't have like all these contracts set for like, oh no, this whole year. Like I've seen some guys here that have their entire year booked, and that's great. That's kind of the level I want to get to. Um, I'm still trying to figure out how to get to that place in which you have your whole year planned out. I've seen guys here that have like up to 2 years planned out. So I'm diving in more into commercial work. So I don't know if that's probably going to be the way to go to have more set, contracts, and then all the residential work just have it in small in like to fill in those areas in which we don't have too much work in between. So that's part of the stuff that I'm still working with. But luckily, God is great, and we've always gotten a phone call, to
Yeah, but
either start a kitchen, do a little bathroom,
mhm.
do a small referral job, stuff like that. So we've been busy the whole year. So
So,
let's see what happens this coming year.
but how you did it? How did you did any marketing, or how did Ova
No,
Electric started picking up?
well, again, it was just mainly referrals. Referrals got me here,
Just
you know,
referrals, no
just
no marketing.
referrals. No, I didn't do marketing until now is when I'm starting to put money into marketing, but it's not always, the best. It's really expensive,
Mhm.
really, really expensive. And it's I spoke to a HVAC guy a couple of months ago, and he said that he's putting in marketing about $8,500 a month.
For sure.
That's, dude, $9,000 just marketing only is a lot. I mean, I can't come up with those numbers, but
Sure.
his company can. And like he said, that is only about 10% of what he's actually making, and not even 10%, So he's easily in the hundreds of thousands a year. So it works out for him. Um, Me personally, I can't invest $9,000 in marketing.
For sure.
Get
Yeah.
it? Not yet.
Yeah.
At least not yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, marketing is one of those things that um you kind of like really have to do your due diligence Uh, I tried the whole Yelp thing. For some people, it does work.
Yes.
For me, it didn't.
Okay.
It didn't at all, you know. But you just gotta start somewhere. And I've told several guys right here, just even if you want to start with Yelp, start it to get your name out there. You want to do something to have like, Mape Electric or Ova Electric at least pop up somewhere.
For
Get it?
sure.
So, um, so yeah, it's just playing your cards well or right. But in the beginning, it's a lot of it's a lot of bargaining. It's like you just have to flip a coin and you're hoping for the best. You throw money in it and you just fucking hope for the best, and that's the way to do it, I guess.
Yeah. JS Electrox is saying my boss is getting customers from Instagram. They have advertisements running that target local people. Yeah, that's a good idea. I do that once in a while.
Yeah, same here.
I don't think I don't think my customers are really coming in from Instagram, even though
Mm-mm.
I'm doing this and I'm pushing it. But basically, what I'm doing is like you said, just pushing my name out there. Just pushing my name, putting Mape Electric on their so they can see it, and then from there maybe I'll get a call or maybe not. But they still have that familiarity with the name.
Yeah, and you also have to do a little bit of hunting. I was talking to All Things Electric, Anthony,
I
and
know.
one of the things that he told me was uh go to what is it, like hotels, places like that. And actually that's something that I have to do. I recently did a panel swap over in not an apartment complex, more like it's like condos and stuff. So I went there and I actually spoke to the guy that is in charge of like the security, and I told him like, hey, or his maintenance dude, like, hey, who does your electrical here? He's like, honestly, we only have like one dude, like just one guy, and he's actually just one electrician, and he'll come whenever he gets a minute. So if you have a card or whatever, just give it to us because we sometimes need work done immediately.
Okay.
So that's one of the things, going not being afraid of putting yourself out there, because a lot of the times we don't do it because of the fear of rejection, and I
Yes.
struggle with that a lot. I one of the
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, a lot. I hate rejection.
Okay.
That feeling of rejection is just it's a lot. So that is what sometimes stops me from
Yeah.
putting
I just to take
putting
it
myself
personal,
out.
man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a feeling that sucks, but you have to. You just have to overcome that feeling of rejection
Yeah.
and just go in and, what's the worst
Overcoming
that can happen,
fear, no?
Yeah, it's like they say, like, what's the worst that can happen? You already have a no. The no is pretty much guaranteed,
Yeah.
but what if it actually pans out? What if they actually do want your business and now you have one more customer?
Yeah.
Get it? So yeah, it's that. I think we all fear that rejection is not what we want to have, so we don't put ourselves out there either. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
Okay, so let me ask these guys, AV installs, Ace of Electric, how are you guys doing? How's the business going? Are there any pain points that you guys would like to share with us and see if maybe Lalo has an answer or maybe just an advice, a suggestion or something. If you guys want to share, that will be good. So you guys can participate, right? Because we are all on different situations. We're having different challenges, right? Like some people say, like they're scared of a camera, because now they're saying like you have to be on social media, you got to have your company, you have to give visibility to the company, and not a lot of people like to do that, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes. We just have to do it, right? We were on fear of a lot of things, and we've been overcoming our fear of, let's say, like me, I was like, I want to get my license, but then I was like the fear of not passing, and
Yeah.
all those kind of stuff. We've been overcoming our fears, no. So the thing is, like, if there is something that you are afraid of, just do it. Just don't overthink it, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes you overthink things, like you say, and you yourself put that barrier. It's
Mhm.
like Will says, your worst enemy pretty much is yourself sometimes.
Yeah,
So yeah, that fear of rejection sucks.
yeah.
How about you? How about you, Martin? This is also your first year in business?
No, I'm on my third. My third anniversary is gonna be on January 1st.
Nice. So
Three years.
what is
Yeah.
one of the struggles that you have encountered in your business?
Well, the struggles at the beginning was the customers, and I invested a lot of money on marketing. I put money on Google, I put money on Yelp, I put money
Hmm.
on Home Advisor. Just investing and see what will work, what didn't. So I just been starting. But I was trying everything, man. I remember one month I invested 1,000 on Google ads, man, and I didn't get any customers. So I was like, $1,000 gone, man. And when you're starting, I mean, it's still $1,000 is $1,000. It's a lot of money. So I was very disappointed, and I stopped with the Google ads. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's really hard, dude. I did the same thing with Yelp, I was like, okay, well, I'll do I was like, I think I did like 800, $900, something like that. And at the end of the month, they gave me a bill for like $2,000. I was like, what the hell? When
Yeah,
did this happen?
yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
it's crazy, man. So sometimes you have to have like your own reservations on where you're putting your money. Like I was talking to Tari about Yelp. He was saying that he's just putting a small amount. He's not investing a lot on it.
yeah, that's also like I told you a while ago. I think my mistake with Yelp was that I wanted to go all out,
Yeah.
and it didn't bring me, hardly anything. It didn't bring me enough to cover the month's bill, to be honest. So, but putting just like small amounts of money into it could possibly give you, just keep your name out there. There's people that do like open it like for 1 month and then they close it or put it on pause for the other month and then open it back up the following month and like that. So you just have to be smart about it. A lot of planning, but yeah, that's customers. Getting customers is really hard, and putting yourself out there in social media is what everybody is doing now. The reason why I put my videos on social media is to kind of see if like on my business card, my QR code that leads them to my Instagram
Okay.
rather than a website. Like on some people, like, oh, this is a website. But the way I see it is like um in my business card, you already have all my information, and if you go to my website, it'll have pretty much the same information of what we do,
Yes.
and my phone number and my email. So I'd rather put it on my going to my Instagram so they can be a little bit more familiar with the type of person I am, and maybe they can just, like it from there.
Okay.
Saying like, oh, like I like how this guy is, or just like that. Because the most one of the most important factors is if there's chemistry in that initial conversation. If there's no
Yes.
chemistry between you and the client, it can get really weird, I've had a lot of instances in which, or not a lot of instances, but I've had some instances in which they still like the number, you still do the work, but since there's no chemistry there, it doesn't. really become a recurring customer. Like you don't feel that he's gonna recommend you to somebody else because it just wasn't there. It's like a relationship.
Okay. JS Electrox, Google ratings with pictures from customers that also works. Some people check for rating. Yeah, some people they like to see the reviews and how are you doing, no? Because um, they want to know that someone else already had a great experience with you, right?
Yeah.
Custom Electric TX, what's up? We're talking about pain points on a small business. So if you have any pain on your business, is anything hurting? You can share with us, and we can talk about it. How about I got some of the points that are obviously pain points for the small business for the first 3 years. And let me know what you think, Lalo. So we were talking about finding consistent clients, right? That's number one. Managing cash flow. What do you think about that one? How are you doing on that one?
Oh, dude, managing cash flow is really hard, especially starting. Starting is like right now I'm probably like red numbers one day, uh, you know, better numbers the other, then red numbers again. And it's like, dude, it's just really hard because in my personal case, I start with zero. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to other fellow electricians and they've had the some of them have had the benefit that they had, $50,000, $80,000 to start their business.
Yeah.
So that's good. But when you start from zero,
Mm-hmm.
it also creates that, gives you that feel that, bro, this is it. Like either we make it or we break it, right? It's like
Yeah.
you have nothing else to lose, pretty much, or you have everything to lose, pretty much, right there. Everything is on the line, so you really have to push yourself to get those customers, get yourself out there, do quality work because you want to. You're a face now. Your company is um you. So the way I see, and I always with my guys, the guys that work with me, and I couldn't, have a business without them, is the quality. I really focus a lot in the quality of work because that is my trademark to give and to get another referral. If I do
Yeah.
crappy work and they don't call me and they call somebody else, that somebody else is gonna say like, oh, who did this shit?
Yeah.
Like it's a classic. Like when you go there to fix somebody else's mistake, it's like, well, that is not supposed to go like that. Like, oh, why did they do that? It was like, oh, dude, that looks like crap. You always want to put quality work because even if they open up the walls, right? You know that one of the things like, oh, they're gonna close the walls, nobody cares. But there are people out there that do care. Let's say that they do have to open up the walls. They see something done, poorly, then everything in the house that was done by them could be something that they can start, you know, judging. Is like, okay, well then I wonder if they did this right here. I wonder how they actually got that other bedroom done, you know.
For
So
sure.
it's the way I see is just quality.
Yeah.
Doing
So
quality work will give you a better higher chance of a referral.
yeah. You touch on that. Pricing services correctly. Know your market, research competitors' prices to remain competitive without undercharging. Factor in overheads, include your time, the materials, equipment, and profit margin in your pricing, right? Because sometimes we do that mistake a lot. The pricing, the services. Sometimes we're too cheap. Sometimes
I
we're too expensive. It's hard to find the balance, right?
I dude, I was doing that for a long time. The line item pricing doesn't always work for everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a famous electrician here that I've seen his line items, prices, and I just couldn't. I've done numbers that are a little bit higher, and just doing the math didn't get me to a solid profitable place.
Hmm.
And as a company, you have to have profit. It's again, it's not that you want to make a lot of money out of, or become rich out of one project, but there has to be profit to keep you afloat on the days that are slow, or on the day that one of your guys gets, I don't know, injured or gets sick, or they need time off. That paid time off, comes pretty much from you. It's not
Yeah.
the government giving them money. It's
No.
you have to pay them. So
Sure.
that's where all that money has to come from that profit. And I was doing things wrong by doing line items. At least it didn't work out for me.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that will help me out a lot on that.
Yeah.
We sat down and talked about it, and and he was like, "Bro, you're missing like this amount of money a
Yeah.
month. Like, where is
Yeah.
it?"
Yeah. So
So
Milo.
as you have business, that is the other thing. Like, as you have business, like consistent work, you can't really notice that you're not making money because money's coming in, but at the same time that it's coming in, it's going
Going.
out. So
Yeah,
when it stops, that is the issue. When the
for sure.
workflow stops, that's when you're gonna see all the money just leave, 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 leave,
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
And that's when you're noticing like, oh shit, there's something wrong right here.
Yeah.
So again, for me, line items doesn't really work except if it's like new construction. I can
Mhm.
definitely do line items there because I already know how long it takes on an open building. But when it comes to remodel, it's really hard to do line items
Yeah, you never
because,
know what you're gonna find, right?
yeah, I mean, sometimes they don't want to open full walls, and then there's like cross members in between. So now you have to, tell the customer that you have to open
The
up the
night.
wall, and
Sure.
they're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they're like, they get scared because now it's patchwork, now it's paint, it's all of that. So it's not that we want to open up the walls, but to me, opening up a wall or making holes, to run a wire is like the last of the ideas. I ran out of ideas. This just has to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, for sure. So Milo is saying that's why I preach you to build and work on your lines of credit. You cannot succeed with a substantial line of with without a substantial line of credit, not just from your supply house. Yeah, it's a good idea. I've been considering that line of credit. Have you considered that, Lalo, or not?
Yeah, but it's really hard also when you're starting company because a lot of these people want, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of just the what is
The
it? Your
business,
statements.
no?
Yeah,
Your
they want to see
statements
how
and
much
profit
money is
and
coming
loss
in,
reports.
how much coming out, and
Yeah.
and
What's up,
it gets
Rudy?
really it gets pretty hard. It gets pretty hard trying to get into a business line of credit. So I've been looking into it. I'm not saying no. I've been looking into it,
It's a,
but
it's a
you know,
possibility. Okay.
it's there.
Okay. Another pain point is time management. Prioritize tasks. Use project management tools like Trello or Asana to focus on high impact tasks. Set boundaries. Block out dedicated time for business tasks and personal rest. Outsource. Delegate tasks like bookkeeping or marketing to freelancers to free up time for core activities. So, do you have anything to manage your schedule?
Honestly, right now I'm a man of multiple hats right now.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
All of that requires money, and that is where I'm not there yet. Maybe if I grow my company, uh, much bigger, um, then I would be obligated to actually have uh somebody in charge of all of that. But meanwhile, I'm in charge of all of that. I do have a payroll specialist. I do have a payroll specialist who's in charge of. I don't have to do that anymore, and it's really
Yeah.
good because who runs my payroll is also with ADP. So
Okay.
these guys constantly just call you or send you emails like, oh, you need to sign this, or there's this new webinar, or we need some information, and you're in the middle of work or dealing with a customer. and these guys are just calling. So now I don't have to worry about that. So my payroll specialist is in charge of that, and that helps out a lot. Um,
Yes.
and then the other thing is, I really like being in charge of all that management of work schedule, and because I can be more in touch of what's happening,
Yeah.
in the business, what's
You want
happening
to
this week.
micromanage, right? Like Rudy. Rudy
I,
también likes to
I,
micromanage everything. He's on top of everything.
well, I think it's good.
Is that
Me personally, it's
Lalo?
good.
Lalo, is that or is that ego that nobody's gonna do it better
No,
than you?
no, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that because if that were the case, then we wouldn't have people working with us, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's more of like giving it like your personal touch that it's still yours.
Yeah,
Get it? That's how I see it. At least, and now that's for me. Not everybody thinks the same way. Whoever has managers and all that stuff, being in charge of scheduling and whatnot, cool. I mean, if that works for them, that honestly, by all means. I'm not saying it doesn't work for me. I'm just saying that I'd like to be more involved in the company.
yeah. So one of my pain points right now that I don't have any employees, Lalo, is that sometimes I have to call people, and sometimes because I'm working, I'm answering the calls, and I'm doing the work. So I'm doing the work, and sometimes a customer call me, "Hey, can you do this? Can you do that?" And
And
sometimes
you're
I
like
I
this and making a connection, right?
yeah, I forget to go. I forget to go to some place or someone that I have to call back. I don't call him back because I'm just too busy right now trying to finish the jobs that I'm doing. So
Yeah, and
I'm
sometimes you lose that
yeah,
client.
yeah,
So
exactly,
it
because they don't have the
happens.
time.
Yeah, next thing we know, it's
Yeah,
8 o'clock. You're barely coming home. You're like, oh shit, I forgot to call this person, and then you call them like the next morning,
yeah,
or sometimes you don't want to call them on the weekend, right?
yeah,
Then you call them Monday, and they're like, oh, you know what, somebody already
yeah,
came. So it's like, that
exactly.
that happens. So that when I hired my first guy, I
Look,
didn't even know if I was gonna be able to pay him.
yeah,
I was like, you know what? Even if I don't get paid, whatever, at least this guy's gonna get paid. But it kind of started alleviating that issue that
yeah,
I could have somebody doing, even if it's just running wires, dude.
yeah,
Like if you're in a new construction, just running a couple of wires from here to there, while I pick up the phone to take um this client. That
yeah,
helps out a lot because you don't stop. The problem
for
is
sure.
when you're by yourself and you completely have to let go of the tools because you have to take a call. And it's hard not to take a call because that's, you know, that could be future work. You don't know.
Yes, for sure. And you never know where you never know where the blessings are gonna come from. So yeah, it's very important to try to get back to the people. It's really hard to get calls, and sometimes you get a call, and sometimes you can't do it, right? So it's hard. So right wire Rudy is he has two managers, so he's not just by he's not just micromanaging everything, okay?
Well, I mean, Rudy's big, dude.
Yeah, he's big and he's here. He wants to join, Rudy. Rudy,
Let's go.
Rudy's here. Let's see if he's gonna join us. What's up, Rudy? Welcome.
I heard a lot of bad things over there. What's going on?
No, but I was saying it on a good way, that you. It
You have
seems.
to if you can't handle the work, obviously you need extra help, right? But
Yeah,
the first thing you were saying that the unit pricing doesn't work, it absolutely works. I would disagree strongly with you on that. I'm working on, doing bids right now, and how do you get to the total price at the end, right? How do you bid a job? You have to create unit pricing, right? Even though if you create the unit pricing per item, right? Right? even in the end, if you get rid of the unit pricing and just give them a total, that's fine too. But there has to be a structure from the beginning,
No, no, no. I'm not
you
saying that
know?
it doesn't work. I'm just saying
No,
that
I
it
know
didn't
that.
work for me, and it was probably
Yeah.
how I was doing it. And like I said, unit pricing for me works perfectly fine when I have a new construction. When I have a remodel is when I was being affected. That
Okay.
I was missing
All right.
all of those variables because
So
I was just putting very similar
I
numbers. But
I just got a job that's a remodel and I went to it and I think I put like 5,000 on top of the bid just to relocate existing. I just threw a number at it plus the unit pricing. There has to be budget and everything, right? But I still had unit pricing. I had certain allowances to take care of this and take care of that, but you have to have unit pricing from the beginning to get to the bottom line total number at the end. You have to.
Mhm.
You have to. There's no way. Like when you go to the restaurant, they don't just throw a bill at you. They say, "Hey, bro, you had a steak and potatoes." You know,
Yeah.
you know. This guy had, two slices of pizza, and then you get a total. That is unit pricing.
Yeah, but
Okay.
let's say in the case that you're doing the steak and potato, you know that that steak and potato is going to be done in that same manner every single time they order the steak and potato.
Correct.
Whereas in a remodel, you can give them, okay, it should take this amount of time to get this done. But now, let's say that they don't open walls, the client
Yeah,
doesn't want to open
but
walls because it's happened.
the
And
unit
now the guy's
pricing,
taking,
the
instead of taking what the
if
hour,
somebody wants, bro, pay attention. If somebody wants a miracle, okay, if the customer says, "Oh, I don't want to open walls," bro, you're not Jesus. You're not a saint. You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
You either tell them, "Sorry, I cannot do it." Find somebody else that can, and they will not. You know.
yeah, yeah, no, totally, totally.
You know. And guess what? There's been jobs that the customers, I don't want no holes, and we're like, no problem. We can do it. There's jobs that you can do it, right?
There, yeah,
And guess
exactly.
what? That unit pricing just quadrupled. You see,
Yeah.
I've done cans, dude, for 400 or 500 bucks each with no holes, and customers will pay. Hey, if it's open, guess what? I'm doing them for 200.
Yeah.
If there's all
Yeah,
these restrictions that I have to meet, I'm charging for it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But it still go back, and I'm only saying this because I didn't hear everything you said. But you said that unit pricing doesn't work. Unit
No,
pricing
no,
absolutely works if you know how to use it, right? You have
no.
to be able to look at a task. All my bids are unit pricing. All my bids are boom, 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 and there's numbers right next to it. Like when you go have a steak dinner with 100 people, it's the same thing.
Maybe
Yeah, like I
you were
said,
maybe you were trying to put him too cheap, no? Probably Lalo. That's why it was
Either
too
that's
either
the
cheap.
either
thing.
either that, okay, either that, or your guys were too
No,
slow.
no. What I said was that it wasn't working for me because I wasn't putting the numbers right. Get it? So
Correct.
now I'm taking a different
So
approach.
your guys were not slow. It was you that was making the mistake. You were
Exactly.
you
It
were
was me. No,
under,
no.
yes.
Like I told Martin, it was me the one that was making the mistake.
And that's
I was
that right
doing the
there.
numbers wrong.
That right there is the problem with most contractors that are out there trying to make a living. They go in there, they start, and some people are embarrassed to charge, believe it or not.
Yeah.
No saben cobrar, are ashamed to charge, and they start figuring it out the second year, the third year. They're like, "Oh shit, I'm just spinning my wheels. I'm better off just going back and working for a company."
Yeah,
That's not the answer. The answer is to adjust,
yeah,
right? To
mhm,
adjust your pricing, right? And then I get guys that say, "Oh man, but if I put my pricing up, this contractor's not going to use you." Fine, bro. You're not making any money now.
yep,
Stay your ass home.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
All you're doing, you see, like I like price per square foot. Like he does it per square foot. That's fine, but he's not building. He's not building custom homes. He's building ADUs. A switch, a light, a fan. You're done. You go in there.
hmm.
He can probably get away
It's like the
with
spec
saying,
homes.
yes. He's not building spec homes like this. Dude, I'm doing a bid right now. There's lighting in every single cabinet. I can't. There's 14 cabinets with lighting in it.
Wow.
I'm hitting them 400 bucks. I'm hitting them $400 a cabinet just for
Yeah,
lighting. You
yeah,
know, um, so I talk about square footage pricing. You know, I'm between $25 and $30, and again, I don't charge per unit square price, and I've just taken all the data throughout the years, and that's about what I get, right? And
Mm,
we're talking
hmm.
about new construction or remodel construction, right? Now, if it's a remodel with drywall, obviously I'm going to charge a lot more money. Like literally, I just got a job awarded for 58 grand because it's all closed. There's drywall. It's a mess. You open up the walls, I'll do it for 45 all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's closed. There has to be an adjustment factor there. There has to. You're going to have one guy all day just cutting
And
channels to run cables.
and
You know what
that's
I'm
where
saying?
I now noticed that that was affecting me because I never added those variables. I was just fucking losing money because not because my guys were slow, but they were slow because now they had to cut shit out. They had to figure out how to run the wires. Then they were having problems that the clients didn't want walls open, and we were in the middle of just losing time, and that wasting time was costing me money. So
That's
that's
right.
why, like I said, it wasn't working for me. So now I'm in the middle of figuring stuff out, as adjusting as I go, as I grow as a business.
That's good that you're figuring it out and you're making the adjustments. That's the part when you start to grow. Other people never figure it out and they never make the adjustments. And I'm telling you this because I got friends that started with me now and they ask me, ¿Cómo le haces? Mira todo lo que tienes. That's what they say,
They
right?
don't see la putiza.
Yeah. And then you tell them, you give them the advice, ¿Cómo le haces? It's the bottom line is the numbers.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's the math, you know?
Yeah,
So I asked them, what are you charging for this, for example? Oh, 50. I'm charging 100. I said, there's the difference. There is the difference. You are killing yourself and there's nothing left over at the end of the day because you're afraid to lose your customers. No, you have a business to run. You're not here to make friends.
Yeah.
We have to survive. Everybody has to. You have to be like a strict dad, you know what I mean, with rules and guidelines. It's the same way in business. The same exact way,
And we're
right?
afraid to
I used to
charge.
had
We're scared.
I used to have a friend, a contractor, that he had this mentality of like, oh, I'm charging, they're paying me $500 to do this. And told him like, okay, bro, that's really low. It's like, yeah, but it's $500 that I didn't have. I was like, well, that's the wrong mentality. You don't know if those
Look,
fucking $500 are even gonna cover material.
look, as electricians, as let's just talk about as business owners. I didn't come here, dude. I was working private work. I was working prevailing work. I was working IBW work, right? I think when I left in the early 2000s, I was like at $80 an hour to come do residential. We're talking in the early 2000s. Era un dinero. It's like making 150 right now an hour now because it's almost 20 years after the fact, right?
Yeah,
Um, and you don't come work for yourself to make more money, to make less money. You come work for yourself because you're tired of living paycheck by paycheck,
Yeah.
right? That's why I'm here. That's why, what time is it? 8:45 and I'm still in the office because I want more. I'm not happy,
yeah.
you know? I'm not happy with what I was making with a 9 to 5,
No, you
you
just have
know?
to put in the work, and
Exactly.
that's
But
what a lot of people don't get. Like I have had people that used to work with me, and they say like, oh, I want to become a contractor. I was like, okay, but I don't see you putting in the work, not even to get on time to work.
yeah.
You want to get out of work and do your thing.
And those
This
are the
requires a
guys
lot.
that come in and don't make it. They're back begging their boss, hey man, it didn't work out. I've seen those people come and go. They come in and they try to compete. They come in, try to take my accounts, and I just sit back and watch them fail. And a year or two, they're gone, and then they're calling me back again. And I'm like, what happened? What happened? Right? I
Yeah,
see it. I've been in the business, technically, I've been in the business since 99. I went 5 years running my business without a license, 4 years until I got my contractor license. I did everything backwards. I had the kids, I got married, right? I had the company, I got the license. I broke all the rules, right? Um, when I started my business, I didn't start my business. All the only thing that happened was it was a legit business already,
Okay.
right? That's all.
You were on the
I
side.
People say how hard was it? It was simple. I had contractors begging me already, "Hey, dude, get your license. We're giving you too much money now." You know,
Yeah,
so it was
that's
easy.
that's also what happened with me that motivated me to also to get that license because I was already doing work for a contractor, and he told me like, "Hey, dude, if you want more money, I need that license because
Exactly.
this is too much money
And
already."
get
So I was like, you know
And
what,
guess what
fuck it.
happened? And guess what happened? I get the license, I'm charging them more money, and now they're spoiled. Now they don't want to pay
Yes.
a little bit more when you have to have the 1 million for the
That
trucks,
happens
the
to
2 or
all of
3 million for
us.
general liability, the workman's comp, right? So what did I
Yeah,
do? I'm like, okay, let's work on a deal. Money has to come in little by little. I started upgrading contractors. I'm like, hey, I'm done with you. You don't want to pay. You're out of my budget. And you get better ones and better ones until you find the ones that appreciate your time, appreciate your knowledge, and appreciate your craft. It's a simple
yeah.
recipe.
It's like I was telling Martin a while ago. It's like having the right client will give you the right client all the time. Having that other client with that mentality that's looking for
Yep,
cheap,
yep.
he will always send you another person
Okay.
that is
They're
also
gonna
looking for
bring you
cheap.
more of those, right? So, Rudy,
Yep.
we're talking about pain points on a small business. Are you having any pains? What are the things that you think that you're having pain now? As because obviously you're on a different level. Do you have any? Do you have anything? Do you have
No,
any issues?
I,
Do
I,
you have to deal with
I
some
don't, I don't
situation?
see, I don't see myself at a different level. I just see myself, with more experience, right? With more time under my belt,
Okay.
right? Not at the different level. You're a contractor, I'm a contractor. You might not have employees, but you're dealing with the same exact issues: money
Okay.
problems, employee problems, finding employees, finding the work, right? I don't have to look for the work, honestly. I'm blessed, but that only happened because of time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? You will be there where I'm at in 20 years. And if you're not, guess what? You failed. You didn't do your job,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? You just
Yeah.
have to
It's
network.
yeah.
You have to network. That's all you have to do.
For sure.
So if you don't get more clients, you're doing something wrong. Either you didn't do a good job, you pissed them off, or they didn't like you, right? My thing is repetitive. Just people keep coming back. That's what you want. That's how you're going to grow.
For sure. So we have to network.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up,
Network
Eric?
and just putting in the time,
Yeah,
just putting
yeah.
in
So
the time, putting that quality and
mm,
getting your name there because that's what's gonna give you that callback.
I work
Building a,
for
building
I work for
a,
superintendents, and they quit one company, they go to another, and they bring me with them. They quit that company, I keep that account. They go to another one, they bring me with them. Now, in a 20-year course, now I'm working for 5 different companies because of that one superintendent that just keeps, he'll do 2 3 years there, and then you're here, and then he goes somewhere else. I call that walk in. You just walk in, right? You walk in, you don't even fight for the work. They say, hey, do you know a good electrician? Yeah, I know Rudy with right wire. Oh, does he do good work? Oh, absolutely. You get the job, he leaves, and they like you so much where they give you work,
for
right?
sure.
If you're
Hey
not
guys, so
getting
Rudy is here. If you guys have any questions for Rudy, you guys are starting your business or whatever, just ask away while we have him because he may be too busy.
I'm always busy, man, but I try to find time. As you guys see me out in the field, in the trenches, working with my hands. So I love to work, but I also hate the office, but the office stuff has to get done.
For sure. Will
Yep.
say network is net worth. There was a guy asking what was your best advice for just a starting electrician, Rudy. I guess he just
Oh,
started. He just opened up.
as an electrician?
I think as
No,
an
I think it's
electrical contractor, yeah.
no. He said apprentice as
Oh,
an
No.
apprentice.
yeah,
I think
okay,
it's very important that you get into into the right school, into the right program, ABC, WICA, or IBW. I would not do anything else besides those three. That's it. If
That
you're
and
into another,
I think the other thing is just attitude because some guys think that they know it all and they're new
yeah,
and they don't have the right attitude to take on either constructive feedback or teaching them the way to do certain things. that will always, just if you don't have the attitude to actually want to become an electrician, so a lot of these guys just want to become an electrician just because they think that there's a lot of money there, like, oh, I'm gonna be rich.
The
But
the
you really have to have that attitude
you
to
have to
want to
find the
be.
ones the as an apprentice you have to find the journeymen that are willing to teach, the ones that are passionate.
That true.
You have to be able to tell the difference between a guy that's here just for the paycheck or the guy that really loves what he does and wants to mimic himself amongst other electricians like myself. Literally, I want people to mimic my work, to think like me, so that I make electricians. You know what I mean? I've made plenty of electricians, apprentices, and I brought them in and trained them through the whole 4 years. They sat shotgun with me, and we go to work. And every time I tell them, "Hey, I'm going to put red face tape on this. This is why. You can use it here, but you can't use it there." And they're just gathering the information. I love to teach. The thing is, like, I truly believe that one day when I'm gone, my legacy is going to continue. I don't think I'll be forgotten for a long time. My videos will be out there, my work will be out there, for people to enjoy.
Legend.
And
And you already have a lot of people that loves you, Rudy. Right? Luciano, he's a big fan of yours. He loves you.
yes,
So, hey, Rudy, can you please go more into depth in how to form a unit price, as in including labor, knowing how much to charge? Do you add up all material and estimate the time
you're wasting
the,
your time.
the time it will take?
You're wasting your time trying to. I get DMs the other day. I'm like, hey, how do I price, like, if I use 10 staples? I'm like, bro, staples are 3 cents. Like, are you kidding me? You're kidding me there? Like, no,
What?
bro, just, yeah, like, like a can light. He wants to write up an invoice and say, "You're worried about the pennies. You're
Yeah.
not. Your brain,
Come
no."
on, guys. Ask better questions to Rudy.
Look
Let's
at,
see.
I had a contractor that actually didn't want me because I gave him just a number, like, hey, this kitchen this much, bum. He's like, hey, when are you gonna give me an invoice like this one? And he gives me some
let
other
me
electrician that he used,
see that.
and it said that like 10 feet of wire, 5 staples, one stack it. I was like, what the? I'm
Three
not gonna
wire
do that.
nuts.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
that's what
you
it
have
had.
to
I was
make
like,
it.
I'm not gonna
You
do
you have to
that.
make it simple and quick. So I'll give you an example. I bid this job in the kitchen, and they're gonna take out this big wall. They're going to put a beam in. All the wires are going to be hanging. Just demo wire and wall that will be demo. Relocate as needed, $5,000. So I have to look at it and I have to be able to see through the walls and say, hey, I need to put a budget number on this, right? But that budget number also has to make sense for me, where I can make some money on it, right? But the unit pricing is simple. It's simple. When you go back to the restaurant, you buy a steak, they don't tell you, oh, T-bone steak, we got it out of the refrigerator, we put it out the grill. The grill was 350 degrees. They don't do that. They just tell you steak, potatoes, and broccoli is 59.95. That's it. You have to keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
The guys, some of these guys just will overthink too much. You don't overthink it, bro. Don't worry if the cans are 7 feet apart or 8 feet apart, right? Don't overthink it, right? For example, regular standard receptacles are $75. Those are in a bedroom. What does the
Hmm.
code say, right? If you have a room, typically you put one on each wall. All the rooms have typically
Four
four walls and
walls.
then one for the TV. I'm doing five, one on each wall and one for the TV, five,
Hmm.
right? We know those are pretty close from each other, right? Now, when we go to the countertop, those take a little bit more time. You got to be very thorough. The layout is way different. That goes up to 100 bucks an outlet. Now, if I'm doing Christmas lights, right, you might have an outlet all the way over here, and then 50 feet away is the other one. Guess what? That's not 100 bucks. Those can range from 300 all the way up to 600, depending on how big the house is that you're working
Yeah.
on, right? So I just, like, look, dude, I'm not like, I'm not, you know, I, I was very in high, dude. I was like my education in high school was like third, fourth grade level. I wasn't the brightest kid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like, I just have that common sense where, hey man, well, this plug's higher, right? I gotta buy a waterproof GFI. I have to buy an in-use cover. And now I gotta use half a roll of Romex. I'm charging 450 for that plug.
Yeah.
You want four of them? It's 4 times 450. You put one on each corner. I mean, some of these houses we're working on are massive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, I use the common sense technique, but a lot of people tell me, oh, not everybody has the common sense. It's not the same anymore. I don't get it. But you have to keep it simple, man. Don't think about, oh, let me put 10 staples, 3 wire nuts, 10 feet of wire, and a can light, and four screws to install the can light on the no.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
That what you were mentioning about the outlet in the bedrooms versus the outlet in the countertop. That's one of the things that I knew I was losing money right there because I was having the same price for a regular outlet in a bedroom, the same price for the outlet in the counter. But doing math, like, dude, this is not adding up because, like Rudy said, you have to go there, you have to prep, you have to put tarps on the counter. It's more delicate. You have to like uh, pre-think about what's gonna go in the aisle or in the counter. So that is where I was, just losing money, and it took me time to
To
figure that
adjust.
out.
Yeah, yeah, but that's good. You have to recognize mistakes and adjust as fast as you can. Right. I'll give you an example the other day, right? So this lady texts me and she's like, because I get referrals a lot, right? Infratech heaters, and she says, hey, I have a house, obviously, and I want to put an Infratech heater in the back. I'm like, okay, send me some pictures, some videos on your address, and I can quote it, right? So she sends me address. I go on Google Maps. It's a 2-story. The panel's all the way over here, and she wants it all the way to the back. The house is big, right? So I tell her, okay, you know what? I'm already thinking in my mind. You have to boom, boom, boom. I'm thinking, okay, that's going to be a 3-man crew. A lead and 2 helpers. They're going to have to go from the garage all the way up to the second floor, and then go all the way across, and then go down and hit that patio. I told her 4,500. I said 4,500 bucks. I'll go do that patio heater for you, a 5,000, 6,000 watt. She says, "Oh my God, that's a lot of money. The heater's only 800."
Yeah, I get that
Okay,
a lot.
okay.
The the
Wow.
the brain power in some people, and I'm not saying she's stupid. This lady was probably wealthy. The house was probably for me unaffordable. I probably couldn't afford the house, but they don't value your time. They don't value your professionalism. They don't value you. Guess what? I don't want to work for people like that. I
Yeah,
don't. I don't. I don't. I can guarantee you that I'm going to size the wire right. It's going to be NEC compliant code. You don't know how many heaters install I show up and they're installed incorrectly. The wire's almost caught on fire because they don't know the distance. They don't know how to do load calcs, derating when it goes up through the heaters. I mean, through the attic, and it's 150 feet. I don't get it. So just be careful with people. There's people out there that love you. There's people out there that appreciate your time, and those are the people you want to find.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought he's saying here, Lalo tell Rudy about the $2,000 job. I got this call this morning. Client was trying to get a quote for, what was it, about 18 lights and like 18 lights, 4 ceiling fans, couple switches, standard stuff. And I lost the call because I was in a place with zero service. So I called him back a while ago and I told him, oh, you know what? Sorry, I missed your call or the call dropped. But you had mentioned that somebody had already gone and given you a number. You were trying to see if I could probably give you a better number. What number did they give you? He's like, oh, $2,000. I was like, $2,000 for
Wow.
18 lights? And I was like, I told him, you know what? I'm sorry. There's just no way I can match it, you
The
know?
the minute I
Uh,
find out that you're the 18th electrician they call, I just say sorry. I'm not interested. I'm just not. Sorry, I got too much work. I wish I can help you out. You got to be nice and professional, and you move on. Know when people don't value your time, and I don't participate in. Oh yeah, I'm having 3 electricians bid the job. Cool, that's fine. Don't send me the plans. I don't want them. If you want to work with me, I'll entertain it. I'll send you a price. But I don't participate in bidding process. It's like, you go out and eat where you want to go out and eat. If you like the food, if you like the recipe, that's where you're going to end up. If you like my recipe, if you like the results that I give you, then just come use me. Don't waste my time. That's my attitude. You know what I mean? I don't do, when somebody tells me, hey, I need you to bid this job, in my mind, I'm already thinking I have to compete with somebody else. And remember, I don't compete with nobody but myself. Right. And if you like my results, it's simple. You can go on my page, you can go walk jobs, you can talk to superintendents that I work for, and they all talk really highly of me. So if that's what you want, I'm your guy. You know, it's just simple. You have to keep it simple. Going back to what I said, keep it simple. Come up with your recipes. Know when to walk away. Know when to say no. You have to know when the money's not there. You have to look at something as a boss and be like, so trust me, there's jobs that I get that already come priced, that they say, hey, we got this job for you. Um, can you do it for this amount? Because a lot of GCs, um, some of them, they have in-house estimators, right? So I just actually picked up two jobs where I literally said, what are you paying for this? It was two homes, and they shot me the budget numbers, and I looked at it, and it wasn't bad, and I took them. I took two of them, and I didn't even really do my unit pricing. I just said, okay, cool, I can do this house. I mean, these are like 2,500 square feet, 3,000 square feet. So it's not like I'm gonna go bankrupt if I make no money on it. And it is, right now, this month I picked up three jobs roughly worth about $150,000, and that's not even all the other work that I picked up. I got the Blue Lake job. I have another job where I'm going to be changing some switch gear. That was like $280,000. And these are small numbers. Did I still consider myself, a small business? I'm still, you know, I'm still in the sense, humbled, and I'm appreciated that I have these contacts with people, and I think that's why so much comes, because I just appreciate everything that comes to me. You know what I mean? I'm just happy that people um, love my work so much that it just keeps coming. It's like a good cook, like a good restaurant. People just keep coming back. They just keep coming back, and that's pretty much where you have to be.
I think I think you consider yourself a small business because of how involved you are with the company. Because like us from the outside, dude, I see Right Wire Electric. It's like that's huge. That guy's huge. That's how a lot of us see you. You're huge. You're something that we aspire to become as an electrician, as an electrical company. So by you saying you still see yourself as a small business, I think it's the way, just because how you are. And honestly, that's really cool that people can still get to talk to you and just be real about it and not have to deal with somebody that thinks highly of themselves.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm
Rudy, Lalo, will you heavily invest in marketing and presentation for a startup company? How important do you think image is?
so the marketing is important in the sense, if you have no contacts, you have to make those contacts. So the minute you have those accounts and those contacts, if you want to continue growing, keep doing the marketing. When we started Total Door Service, we went heavy into Google. We're top three right now if you type in commercial door service. And we actually hired somebody for the advertisement on Google. We also went into it wasn't Angie's List. There was another one.
Home
What was it?
Advisor or Yelp?
Think it was Yelp also. Yeah, Yelp. We went
Okay.
into Yelp, and our pages on Yelp. But Google, honestly, in the beginning of Total Door Service, it was literally, two employees. Right now, we're up to four employees, four trucks. We're finishing up the fourth truck right now. And dude, I didn't want to talk about, like, we got so much work over there. It's raining. We hit probably 400,000 in 5 months in business.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's really good.
So our projected goal for 12 months, we're gonna hit 1 million.
Wow.
Easily 1 million. Not even a question. Now we're getting awarded jobs that are easily like above 200,000,
Okay.
and we're making good contacts. The crews that I have over there running all that, the technicians, they're great. They love them. Now we can see the repetitive service. Like, people just keep coming back. Now it's like, okay, we're doing good enough to where people are coming back a fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth time. You understand? Doors break. It's a moving part. They're only going to last a few weeks, a few months, and they're going to break. So we have accounts now where it's like, go back, it's broken, go back. And there's no warranty on that. You can't warranty a hinge that's been opened up 4,000 times at the train station. You can't.
So you got that return of investment with these marketing strategies that you used.
The return on an investment for the marketing, and it was the total opposite. When I started my company, Right Wire Electric, it was kind of, I always knew that I wanted to have my own company since I got into the trade, because most of my family, they all own their own business. But um, I did no advertising. I literally just had my truck, and I had advertisement on the side, and then I made some business cards, and that was it. But the advertising for me didn't work. I always valued my work, and I wasn't going to go to work. I was always, per se, the guy that wouldn't get the work because I was a lot higher than everybody else. But when somebody's charging $2,000 for 300 lights, and I come in and tell them, hey, I want to charge you 10, that other guy's doing them for pretty much free. So
Yeah.
now
Yeah, for sure.
now with technology and the internet, we're taking a different stance on this this new company that we have now, because times have changed, right? You have to adjust to the times no matter what.
Um,
And
what do you think, Lalo, about marketing, putting a lot of money into it?
Like I said, and I agree with Rudy totally, and I've told you that before. If you don't have any contacts, you just have to get your name out there. You have
Sure.
to be
Yeah.
Maple Electric to somebody. Somebody has to research, and you'll get that. In my case, same thing. It
but
didn't work out for me as much, but I had a lot of side work done that now I have those calls. So that side work got me to a little
but
bit more consistency.
you
Okay.
have to think about what really marketing means, right? Most people would think about marketing as a billboard or advertising, right?
Pay attention, guys.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
For me, it's not that. It's that and other things. Okay. When my trucks show up, the first thing they go, oh shit. Oh wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
That's marketing,
that's
right?
that's also my focus this year because I was lacking on that. I was just,
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have anybody with uniforms. Having
Exactly.
everybody with uniforms now actually makes a huge difference, creates
So
an impact.
Right Wire Electric is a construction service company. We do construction sites. So all my guys have the gray shirts. They're not the best looking shirts. The trucks are nice. We have all the equipment, you know. But the total door service, we have uniforms. But again, it's also service. The guys are getting dirty and stuff like that. But the presentation can also be, in my opinion, considered marketing. You show up in a raggedy ass car, that's bad marketing. You show up in a nice truck, you know decent clothes, because I'm not into service. I'm not going into, you see what we do, right, like we're digging and stuff like that, right? we do
Yeah.
we do service, but we go back to service our own work or customers that already know us, right? But we show up in a nice truck. The total doors, I mean, look at the trucks. You've seen them.
Those are
They
They're
badass.
look
really nice.
beautiful. They look beautiful. Like, we take care of them, and even now, we haven't even bought one new truck for total doors. Everything we're buying used, and we're fixing them, and we're making them look good for the marketing part, for the presentation of the
For
company.
sure.
Like, look, like, in when I was growing up, we had like 30 lunch trucks, right? And my dad always told me, he's like, you don't just eat with your mouth. He's the nose and the eyes. You see it, you smell it, and you can almost taste it. He would always tell me that, right? Because I was a cook in one of the trucks. I used to be a cook, um, making food and hamburgers, and he's like, "No, look, put the patty like this. Put the. It's all presentation. It's marketing. Marketing doesn't just mean the Google. It's the
Yeah.
presentation of your company also."
Your logo, no, your yeah. So Rudy, also I think Total Door. I mean, besides the marketing and all that stuff, I think your reputation and your name on it, it helped a lot for sure, right?
We've gotten jobs through Instagram. We've gotten accounts through Instagram, but what we're finding out is that there's such a big need for that type of work out there that literally,
Okay, for that service.
yeah, literally it's like, I think honestly the way it's going that Total Door is going to create more revenue than Right Wire Electric, honestly.
Wow.
Because think about it, there's a lot of electricians out there. There's a lot. Go Google search it.
Yeah.
Google door companies and you see the
No,
difference. It's like
like
10
I'm
to like 10 to
apparently the
1.
50.
Yeah, it's like 10 to 1. That's why these customers have the luxury to call 10 electricians and be like, "Hey man, I got a quote for 2,000." And then they get it, somebody says, "I'll do it for 19." And now they're going around telling everybody, "Oh man, I got a quote for 19, then
Yeah.
18." Then next thing you know, you're paying them to do their work. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. Like, nah, 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 nah. It doesn't work like
For
that,
sure.
Why do you think?
Yeah.
Why do you think I share my formulas? Why do you think I share my unit price? And all I'm trying to do is elevate everybody else because I've had people go, "Damn, dude, you're charging this a can 200. I'm charging 90." There's the problem, right? If you go out and I ordered Round Table the other day, and for two pizzas it was $104. Can you believe
Wow.
that? For two
Yeah, the
pizzas,
prices are everything
right?
is so expensive now.
Do you think that their goal is to ruin their business, right?
Yeah.
They're not stupid. They're driving by Domino's and they're like, "Man, a large is 19.99. We have them at 14. Guess what? Let's not compete. Let's all elevate our
Yeah.
prices so that we're all the same."
For
Look
sure.
at the gasoline stations. Gas is within 50 cents of each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not within 50 cents of each other. You're going to get numbers so far off when you bid a job. I can bid a job for 50 grand, and these are true examples. I bid a job for 92 grand and somebody came in at 52. How in the hell is that even
Oh,
possible?
wow. That guy shoot himself.
I always say this, either he's fast as hell, he stole the material, or he just don't know what he's doing. It's not a business if you're not making some type of revenue. It really isn't. Like,
Yeah, that happened to me also like 8 months ago. I was doing this job for a contractor, and it was pretty much a guaranteed job. I had already done all the walkthrough. I had already given him the numbers, everything lined up, and then I didn't get a call. I was like, "Hey, weren't we gonna start this project?" Like a month ago. It's like, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry, I got somebody else." I was like, "Why?" It's like, "Well, he was like $25,000 cheaper." I was like, "What the
Wow.
dude?" It made no sense.
look,
Yeah.
I just it's funny, this 280, I'm getting jobs for 280 like all day long. I lost a $280,000 job. It was a 10,000 square foot custom home that I really didn't even want, honestly, because I know the time and effort that goes into those houses. Somebody got it for 260 and I was happy. I'm like, thank God somebody didn't lowball this job, right? I was happy. But I'm good, I got right now, 600,000 in two big jobs that I've already been awarded. So I really didn't need that headache. Honestly, those custom homes, they're just bragging rights. Like, look, I did this, they look nice when it all comes together at the end. But is it really worth your time when you have jobs that are 300 and it's going to take you 30 days to do? That one's 280 and I'm going to be there a year and a half.
Wow.
Oh, you see the difference, right? So sometimes blessings come in disguise. When I lost that job, I was awarded a $280,000 job over here, and then I'm working on another $202,000 job over here. They returned my contract. They just want me to change it a little bit because my contract went to the association, and then it went to the attorney. And I just have to make the little small modifications, and I got the job. I mean, that one, hopefully there's no change orders, but I'm at like 284. it's 30 days. You know what I'm saying? It's get in and get out. Like,
Yeah,
if there was a job that I wanted to lose, it was that custom home. Trust me, it was that house.
because they take too long to accomplish, right?
You know, when you have the homeowner, the designer, the general contractor, and you're asking a simple question like, how high do you want this sconce? Oh, we're going to have a meeting on the sconce. This is typical. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's typical. It's very typical. They have a
Yeah, or
meeting.
that classic
They,
designer that
they
says,
yes.
"Oh,
You,
can you carry the chandelier for me?" So I'm a
oh,
visual person, and you're like on a fucking 8 foot
exactly.
ladder, like holding that shit,
Exactly.
like
So then that's exactly what happens on these custom homes, right? So then we show up to the meeting, they're like, "Oh my God, we haven't even selected the light yet. Why the fuck you call me for the meeting?"
Yeah.
Okay, let's select the light. That takes like 4 weeks. By the time it shows up, it's 2 months later. I'm already up to here and waiting for this freaking light fixture. Then they show up, they open it up, and then they ask you, "Can you hold it for us, Rudy?" And I'm like, about to lose a marble, right? I'm like, "Really? Now you want me to hold the freaking light on the wall for you?" But dude, I
yeah,
stay really professional. I'm just in my mind, I'm just going,
yeah,
"Really? All
sure,
I
no
need is a
problem.
height. I just need a height in the center,
Yeah,
two
yeah,
numbers, you know? Like, but when you get those homes, you have to cater to them. I might sound frustrated, but I'm a whole different person out there when I have these professionals, these scientists and doctors, and I mean, I work for some really, really wealthy people, right? And makeup mirror, you know, the ones that come out, they have to be perfect lined up with people's faces. I
Yeah.
say, where's the chair you're going to use? Well, I don't have it there. I'm like, well, I suggest you go get a chair that's similar to the one that you're going to use, because this mirror has to be spot on,
Yeah.
yeah,
right? And I
yeah,
always push quality. You know that. I want my stuff to be so perfect. I don't want them to say, "Oh my God, the electrician spent no time with me." No. At the end of the day, they're going to say Rudy did everything he could. He thought about every possible situation, and I love the outcome. That's what I
For
want. That's
sure.
that's what I want at the end, because next time when they build another house, they're going to say, "You know what? I'm going with Rudy no matter what." And I have customers that are like that. I have customers that build houses for them, and then they build a house for the sister, and hey, go do it, Rudy. They don't even ask for price anymore. It's an open
Yeah.
ticket.
Yeah. Because you build that reputation.
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
And
And then
the stuff,
they trust that it's not that we're not trying to become rich out of one ticket item.
the
It's a
problem
cost.
when you have a lot of employees, you need that revenue coming in. At the end of the day, if you don't make much on that custom home, it created revenue, it created a job for an employee. They didn't sit at home, so you have to, and I don't know if I've talked about this, but a lot of the custom homes, they're good because I can put two guys on it, right? Like, look at right now, on Monday next week, we're slow, right? We have a job that we started in Laguna Niguel that's overlooking the ocean, and I've had two guys on there little by little. So we had a meeting today, and I'm like, "Hey, next week there's nothing, but we can go to the specific job, and I can send three crews out there, and the lead." He's like, "Oh hell yeah, we can bust that out. If you
Yeah.
send those guys all next week," he's like, "we can probably be done with it." So guess what? You have to know how to manage your guys. You have to know how to take advantage on these jobs that the profit is very minimal, right? Do you think I want to tell my guy, "Sorry, it's Christmas. You're going to take the whole month off"? No. My job as the boss is to keep them busy all year around, 40 plus hours a week. That is my task. If I can't do that, I am failing. And
Yeah.
I've been doing it now, a licensed contractor, since 2003, 2004. So we're going on 19, 20, 21 years. So my guys know, what happens when you don't have enough work, your employees end up leaving.
Yeah,
They go somewhere else.
yeah,
They can barely make a living with their 40 hours. And then you're going to tell them, "Oh, sorry, this week you're getting 14. Next week you're getting 32. Next week you're getting," you can't have, you have to be reliable, and they have to be reliable.
For sure. Uh, Rudy, I really appreciate your time. Lalo, I'm not sure you guys wanna
thank
have
you.
more questions, or you guys are good to go. Because I know, Rudy, there was a lot of questions from from
Dude, well,
from your
you're running this reel.
from your
You're
followers,
running
but
this live.
some of them, they were they were just going too fast, the way you like it.
Yeah.
They go
What
too fast. It's
I
hard to catch
remember that
them.
one of the questions was some a guy said here, and he kept asking the same question, is like, how do you come up with, oh, do you have a program, Rudy, do you have a
The
program
software,
to
right?
give the, yeah, to get that unit pricing? And if he's probably haven't followed you that long, but you've said it several times, and once you establish how much you're going to charge for that item, you have it on the QuickBooks,
Mm-hmm.
and then all you have to do is type it in. And on I think yesterday's live, I think you went live yesterday, Rudy. You were talking
Yeah.
about that QuickBooks thing, and some guys were asking about the CD. And I was telling them that I actually had also an old CD where I had that old version of QuickBooks, which was really cool because you didn't
No,
have to pay every month. It
nobody
sucks.
has it. Nobody has it
And
anymore.
when
What?
I tried to give it to my brother, it actually didn't allow him to install it anymore.
Well, let's just say that mine's kind of a bootleg QuickBooks.
I've seen it also on Amazon. There's a
What?
bootleg version.
Yeah. So now you have, I paid for this a while ago, but I think my accountant gave it to me, and I think she has the original copy of it. But she bought it, and then she was like, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna put it in your computer, but don't tell nobody." I'm like, "All right."
Okay.
So
We
some
only told 150 people.
Rudy, one question from me. What do you think about? I'm thinking about hiring one guy next year. What do you think I should pick? Should I pick a guy that already knows, that has some experience, or a green guy? What do you think? What are your thoughts on
that's
that?
the question is very simple, right? And the fast answer is hire somebody that knows what they're doing, because you're not going to have to babysit them. If you want a little bit of freedom where you can be out somewhere else
Yeah.
looking for work, do not hire a helper, okay? Because you're going to be tied to the helper, and then you're not going to be able to do work. You're not going to be able to leave him there. So no, um, no, I would not recommend. So when I started, my first two guys they already, one of them was a helper, and the other one already knew what he was doing. So
Okay.
I've never talked. Actually, I have talked about it. So when I started my company, I was working prevailing wage, making at that time almost $80 an hour. So I didn't want to quit this to come work for less money. So I said, hey, let me stay here. And I told two of my friends, I'm like, why don't you guys quit your job? You're making
Yeah,
25, bro, and
I
you're in the
remember that
factory making
story.
9, right? I'm like, you're making like $9. You're like at 20. I'm like, it doesn't make sense for me to quit my job.
Yeah.
And I even told them, I'm like, what could happen? I'm making, and I've always lived below my means. Okay, I don't know if
Okay.
you've seen that, right? I don't have fancy car. I mean, I got one fancy car, but
Well, I've seen your car.
I don't live above my means. I don't have 5 cars. I don't have the Mercedes, a BMW. My wife is very simple. I'm very simple. But at that time, I was living simple then, and I'm living simple now, right? I told them, look, man, I can afford to get my check and pay both of you guys, even if I end up with no money.
Okay.
So it doesn't make sense for me
Okay.
to quit. It makes more sense for you guys to quit. Come work for me, right? So at that time, I was working prevailing wage, and then we had transitioned to IBW Local 11, and they were working for me, and things were going great, man. I remember the first job, we went to go run some circuits at and I was broke, bro. Like I was living paycheck by paycheck, honestly. Like like right now, not to brag, like I don't worry about the rent money. I keep doing the same thing. I have everything on auto pay. It pays itself. But at that time, the first job, it was like $4,500, and I even told my guys, I'm like, hey man, you see, I got your check for the next 2 weeks. We're good. And it was all downhill from there. But you have to be creative. You have to find ways to make it work for you. And that was the way how I made it work for me. Instead of me quitting, I told two guys that I hired that they're pretty much my best friends. We grew up together, and that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. You have to, again, find ways. You have to be creative. So yeah, so then I went. I was working. For Powerco Electric. They transitioned to IBW. I became an IBW member. I took like
from prevailing to union, I probably lost on the check around $700-800 a week. My check was cut a good 40%. So I was doing a big job at UCLA. I was running an 80-man crew, and I told my boss, "Hey, I'm gonna get you out of the walls, and I'm gone. I can't. I've been here like way past the time I wanted to stay here." And then I went to a company called C&H Electric, which was prevailing wage company. We were working at Mount Sac, right? So I got back to business, to making money, and then C&H Electric ended up going BK. So then I lost my job, the first time ever that I lost my job, not because I was a bad employee, but I lost my job, and then at that time, I actually already had 3 employees here at Right Wire Electric, and the company, the revenue was coming in, money was coming. And so that's when I decided to come work for myself. So I wasn't even per se the first employee working for my own company.
Okay, okay. So you were the third.
I was the fourth, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Very nice. Tarin Electric, teach me how to be simple, Tio. You can teach him how to be simple, Rudy. How did you figure out, Andy? What's up, Andy? How did you figure out how to price jobs back then, Rudy?
When I wasn't making money, when there wasn't when there wasn't no beat, no nothing left over, you can figure that out really quick. When there's nothing left over, you just have to keep increases your prices, but not too much where you scare people away, and not too low where you're not making money.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Idaho electrician, that's right. People will pay for quality and performance. Exactly. It's like I paid $104 for that round table pizza, right? I could have gone to Little Caesars and been out of there for $20, but I paid for quality.
And
I
you
paid for
Was
didn't
it?
even ask
quality
for a
ingredients.
discount, right?
No, no, no,
No,
no.
there's no there. That's also the other thing that customers don't see. Like when they have that um, courage to tell you, "Hey, can you do some? Can you lower the cost? Can you do it better or something like that?" They don't say that when they go to the mall and buy a Gucci bag, or it's like it's not
But
there. You
look,
just can't.
you have to see it like this, right? If so, I have like a soft spot for teachers. Anybody education, and anybody that takes time out and educates, whether it's in high school or college. When I work for teachers, I treat them really good. I don't charge what I normally charge because it's just my soft spot, right? But you know you as a business owner, you have the power to make that choice. You can charge somebody 5,000 a panel, or you can tell them, hey, just give me 2 grand.
Yeah.
You have that power to do that. You have power to bless people out there, with a huge discounted rate, but it's all on your own discretion.
Yeah, but also you have to think about the profit, right? And if you're always losing and losing and losing,
No,
we're not
no, of
gonna be in
course not.
business for a
Of
while,
course
right?
not. I mean, look, sometimes we do stuff for free for designers. Sometimes they have these shows and they have these events. They're like, hey, Rudy, can you come over here and install these lights for us on this wall? Yeah, sure, we'll go up. It's not always about making money. I'll give you an example. I spoke about this the other day on my live, right? So I had so I do, mm, I do everything through text, right? My text is my notepad. So
Okay.
that's how I operate. So somebody will call me and say, hey, um, something doesn't work at my house. I'm like, yeah, yeah, no problem. Let me text you, and I'll say, good afternoon, Mr. Smith. This is real electrician. What's your issue? This outlet doesn't work. No problem, Mr. Smith. Can you send me a text of that outlet? Send me a picture. She sent me a picture of a GFI. Now I already know. I didn't have to ask her. No power. Yes. Okay, no problem. What's your address? She sends the address. How much is it going to cost to fix it? I said, well, our minimum charge is $300 for a service call. And she says, "Oh my God, you want me to eat dog food for the rest of the year?" That's what she said. And I
Wow.
said, "Mr. Smith, what's the issue? Why would you say that to me? I'm a senior citizen. I'm on a fixed income. I just want my receptacle fixed, and I just think it's too much money."
Yeah.
And I said, "No problem. Where are you at?" Right? I already had her address, and I said, "As a matter of fact, I have somebody down the street, and they're finished with their call. I can send them to you, And as a matter of fact, since you're on the fixed income, I'm willing to do it on a tip base. I'll do it for whatever you want to give me. So when she told me if I wanted to eat dog food for the rest of the year, for the rest of the month, she was pissed.
Yeah.
She was mad
Mm-hmm.
because she's like, shame on you. How can you charge me so much money? Right. So we showed up. It was a bad GFI. We changed it in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. So then I tell her, I'm not charging you. I feel your pain. Not a big deal. And she starts to text me. She's like, well, now I want to pay you. Now she's arguing with me that now she wants to pay.
Of
So I tell her,
course.
look, whatever you want to give me is fine. So she writes a check for $100. She gives it to my driver, brings it in. Then she says, hey, I get more money on the 4th of next month. I want to send you another 100.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, no. I denied it. I'm like, no. You gave me 100. That was the deal. I'm not turning this into a payment plan. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Well, really nice. What do you think, Lalo?
No, dude, I mean, there's nothing for me to think right here. Just, dude, Rudy here has years of experience, and
But
like you said, it's
I mean, really think about what happened. I just converted that call into somebody that loves me now,
For sure.
yeah,
right?
no,
She's going to be
totally. And
my
like you,
best
and like
advertisement.
Yeah.
She's going to
you
tell
said
her friends and
a while
family
ago,
about me.
you as a business owner have that power to decide what to do with that scenario. You could have said like, oh well, then call somebody else, and that's it. And you could have
Well,
lost all that, like Rudy said, you could have lost that advertisement, that free advertisement, because now that lady, of course, is gonna refer him to somebody else.
well,
You know?
well,
For
my
sure.
technician said that somebody was over there already and they wanted to charge her $1,800 to fix the
Oh,
problem. So somebody was trying to
wow.
scam her. Somebody was trying to
Yeah.
scam her. That's what had happened. So that came out after the fact. When my guy showed up and fixed it, she's all, man, I don't know. Like, your boss is so nice. You're going to fix it, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, you won't believe it. Like, I was already upset because somebody else wanted to charge me, $1,800,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, who in the hell's going to go to somebody that's on a fixed income, retired at home, is barely making it? And shame on you. You know what I mean? That's just my take.
Yeah.
Like, dude, 4 minutes to St. J. There's scams out there. Don't get me wrong. I know there's scammers out there that just go out there, and most of them that I see doing that, it's just service companies. They prey on those type of
For
customers.
sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think we.
there's a big service company right here that does that, that does feed on that. And
Look, yeah. Go ahead. Keep talking. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's just that there's a big service company right here that does that. And I went into a place to change out a chandelier, and these guys were already there doing a service call. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? So the dude comes out and is like, hey, do you have your own company? I was like, yeah, this is my own company. He's like, hey man, I wanna start my own company because I can't be working for these fucking thieves, bro. It's like I just charged this lady $600 to just look at her panel, and they push me to actually sell these things and find problems and upsell more stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
There, there is so much work out there that you don't have to be a thief. You can be honest, right?
Yeah. There's
Um,
no need. Yeah.
I saw a quote from a company to change a ballast out. Okay, we're talking. Okay, I said ballast, fluorescent ballast. So minimum 10 years back, $480.
Wow.
$480 for a ballast. I was like, man, I can take the whole light down and put a new one in, like, for $150.
yeah.
Wow, Rudy, you have started a new generation of electrical contractors with your experience. That's what I call building a legacy. Gracias por tu conocimiento. Luciano loves you. I told you. I told you Luciano loves you. Say hi to him.
Shout out to Luciano. Didn't I meet him at the Growth Convention?
I
Yeah.
think you did. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think your thing is frozen here because I'm seeing 111 people are live on here and the comments have not changed.
Yeah.
I have 101.
Okay. Thank you for my Christmas bonus, Rudy Lonzo 02.
Who was that?
Uh, Treating people
Who
well.
who did you give a Christmas bonus to?
Lonzo 02.
Lonzo.
Maybe he gave him with his words of knowledge. That's a
Yeah.
bonus. The value that people is getting here. Rudy is we're always getting gold from you, man. Every time we have a chance to talk to you, you are very generous on sharing with us your knowledge, and I really appreciate that. And that's why all these guys love you, and I love you too. Thank you. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
always appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rudy.
All right, man.
Thank you, Lalo. Have a good night. Have a nice weekend, Rudy,
You too,
Lalo.
guys.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
All right,
Have
man.
fun, Rudy. Thank
Salud.
you.
Toodles.
Estamos.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. I hope you guys enjoyed this live, and Merry Christmas. And we'll see you next Friday. No days off. All right. Thank you. Good night.